Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is my pitch for the next 3D Mario game being, as the title suggests, a Mario and Bowser team-up video game. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe. And we are so close to 100 subs, we are one off. And let's begin. I'm going to start off with the opening cutscene where it's a boss fight with Bowser and, yes, kidnap Peach. It's at Bowser's castle while Kamek is flying around Bowser's castle making it chaos. Mario and Bowser are fighting and the player obviously gets to play and oops, sorry, I just burped already. Great. And the fighting extends into Bowser's lab or workshop when the player finally defeats Bowser. In classic Mario 64 fashion, Mario swings him, but this time Bowser lands into the time machine, which malfunctioned, causing Mario, Peach, Kamek, and Bowser to all get sucked up in like a portal, like in Mario Galaxy, like a black hole. And they end up going all the way to the earliest parts of Mushroom Kingdom history and all the way to the beginning of the Mario timeline. Now, on to the actual game, where Mario and Bowser have been transported back in time, and Peach and Kamek, they're scattered across the world the game takes place in, and you'll see them occasionally, but more on them later. From there, you can either play single player, where you can be Mario or Bowser, swap between the two of them, or you can be two-player co-op, which is way better than Bonanza and Odyssey, and you can control all you. Player 1 controls Mario and player 2 controls Bowser. The first challenge is escaping the earliest parts of Bowser's castle, and although it isn't Bowser's yet, the main villain is the King of the Koopa Army, not Bowser. This is Bowser's earliest family members, or possibly the people who ruled before, or the Koopas, but my pitch is that it's the start of Bowser's family. Mario and Bowser get defeated by him, and then they are sent flying into the grasslands where Peach's castle would have been, but the Mushroom Kingdom and subsequently Peach's castle doesn't exist yet, instead being known as the grasslands with villages scattered around. In the grasslands, Mario and Bowser find a piece of the time machine, and by the time machine I mean the controller for the time machine, which is somehow still working, but they discover that the pieces of the controller are all broken and scattered into 8 pieces across 8 lands. And the player across the game will learn all new skills, will have to defeat the earliest enemies found in the Mushroom Kingdom. The boss of each land or kingdom will be the current ruler of that kingdom, with the exception of the Mushroom Kingdom or the Grasslands, which will have its own boss who's not the ruler yet. Though throughout the game, the players will encounter Peach and Kamek, or both of them. Kamek will help you learn new skills, and when you're in trouble, maybe give you a little help. You'll primarily see him towards the beginning of each land. And Peach, meanwhile, Peach will give you various missions to get the new currency or stars. More on that later. But Peach basically, she sees as giving you other challenge, and for her, and in exchange, give you some more information or tips on how to do better at the game, or how to defeat the boss, or how to locate other stars. And speaking of stars, I'll mention the currency. Of course, there's going to be coins, and there's going to be like some other form of coin, maybe like purple coins, but basically, instead of moons or bananas, I'm pitching blue stars, which are basically the same thing as the other two, just reskinned. As they work fairly similar. It's obviously going to be developed but the game's obviously going to be developed by the Mario Odyssey team, so I figured that I'd take a lot of inspiration from that team and see how they work. And one thing I will mention more about the lands really quick is that there is a lands called the Abandoned Lands, which is World 1-1 from Super Mario Bros., rotting away alongside other structures from Super Mario Bros., sorry. And as for how you get to the bosses, since you won't be needing the Moon Ship or the Odyssey Ship to go from kingdom to kingdom, the way I have it is basically where the blue stars you collect, you have to collect a certain amount and exchange them in order to fight the boss. That's how you basically you go to the gates of the castle or wherever the boss is, the guards there. You give them the stars, and in exchange, they'll let you in an audience, and you'll end up fighting the boss of that land. Now, one of the power-ups, like Mario Odyssey, there won't be any. Instead, this time there will be various workshops or mechanic shops where you can upgrade Mario and Bowser's power, speed, swimming, durability, and other abilities to serve as power-ups. They work as how it does in Bonanza, where it's in the form of clothing. So you can dress Mario and Bowser in all different types of costumes. God, I would love this. I would love to see some of the costumes people could design for Bowser. That'd be so funny. And now I move on to the lore drops of the game, being the main villain of the game. He was the one who built up Bowser's castle, and he made the very earliest Koopa army. There are other major lore drops is that the Super Mario Bros. Worlds and levels in that game existed a long time before and was abandoned, only to be remade and reconstructed by the modern day Bowser we know and love. Another major lore drop is that there was some kind of conflict fought after the game, which allowed for the construction of the Mushroom Kingdom, as in the game, the Mushroom Kingdom does not exist yet. And now it makes every invasion of the Mushroom Kingdom by Bowser look like the Bowser Kingdom trying to reclaim its former land. And now I will go over the boss battle. After defeating all the other bosses and reclaiming the pieces of the controller to bring Mario, Peach, Bowser, and Kamek back to the current time, you face the final boss. And he is huge, and you have to defeat him 3 times to truly defeat him. Sorry guys, I'm kind of sick still. But this will be one of the most difficult boss battles, as he is huge and he can punch you and that shakes the ground violently. He can burn you with his massive fire flames, or he can use his tail to destroy the whole ground, and the ground is gone. You'll have to use the walls of the stadium or the final boss place in order to stay alive. He's going to be one of the most hardest. Okay, that sounds really bad, but he's going to be the hardest boss. That's really bad, but he is going to be really, really difficult to defeat. And the player attacks by working together to avoid his attacks. Eventually, you'll climb up his cape. I know, this villain has a cape to distinguish himself from Bowser. And then you pound down his crown to his eyes where he can't see and falls down. This allows Mario and Bowser to repeatedly punch him for 10 seconds until he gets the crown off his eyes, back onto his head, and gets up and begins attacking again. Eventually the boss is defeated, but he collapses into the ravine behind the castle, causing the supports of, not the castle, but the land around to fall and collapse, and it becomes a race against time to make it back to the time machine that return to the current day Mushroom Kingdom. And they finally get back to the Mushroom Kingdom, as that's the ending of the game, kind of like how you have an escape from the collapsing moon in Mario Odyssey, and credits. No, this isn't the end of the video. Keep watching. After the credits, there is some post-game content. Bowser has managed to fix the time machine. So him and Mario visit the past, where they are greeted by a random toad who says they can make a statue of the two of them for saving the whole Mario world. And from the original King Koopa, or King of the Koopa Army. Mario and Bowser revisit all lands as they find huge stone pieces to serve as the construction for their statues, alongside other blue stars, which those are used to pay him to construct a giant Mario and Bowser statue. And from there, we finally get the final actual credit scene, where we see Mario and Bowser's statue being put up in the modern-day Mushroom Kingdom, where it had clearly been left abandoned for many years. However, Peach rediscovered it and puts it outside of the castle walls. For DLC, you can explore the Mushroom Kingdom in with Mario and Bowser, and you'll get a new mode being Luigi's Adventure. In Luigi's Adventure, the player plays as Luigi and Bowser Jr. is a sidekick. They are trying to restore stability to the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom while Mario and Bowser is gone. Basically fills us in on what happens during the game in the present timeline. As for when this would come out, I would say Mario and Bowser Time Travelers would be revealed at the Game Awards 2025 and would come out September 2026 / holiday 2026. Now I do not in the slightest think this game would be even remotely likely, but I think we have been long overdue for some kind of Bowser game. It'd also be very different as the co-op would be actual co-op compared to Odyssey and Bonanza and most Mario games. We also get some huge lore drops, but I also think Mario Bowser Time Travelers, it's just a different type of game. It's 3D, but how many games? Okay, there's a lot of Zelda games, but how many Mario games involve time travel? And you get to explore never before seen time of the Mushroom Kingdom and exploring some of the questions and answers to the earliest parts of the Mario timeline. Either way, I can't wait until this is the next 3D Mario, since it's been 8 years since Odyssey. No matter if my game becomes correct, like they actually put it out, or if it's something else, we need a 3D Mario, Nintendo, please. That is it for this video, and if you want more like this, at 100 subscribers, I'll do a 1-hour video on the FNAF Timeline. At 750 likes, I'll do a video on how Mercedes formed an F1 empire. And at 75k views, I'll do a video on the life of Jaime Lannister. But until next time, bye!